Shop Talk Live, where professional stylists, barbers, makeup artists, and nail techs give you the 411 on the good, the bad, and the ugly of everything you want to know about natural hair, hair weaving, makeup, nails, education, products, and more. Real talk. It's what you've been waiting for. Shop Talk Live. Good, bad, the ugly.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Shop Talk Live.
Yay! So, our special guest today is Benite Corion, also known as Braids by B at the Braiding Depot. Welcome, B.
Hi. Hey, B.
Okay, so quick question. What's the most common misconception about dreads?
Well, the biggest misconception is that people think dreads smell or is kept dirty. Actually, people who have dreads actually have the cleanest hair.
Wow.
Cleanest. More cleaner than the weave with, you know, the hair under that's kept for 3-4 months.
Okay.
People that have dreads actually wash their hair quite often.
Okay.
So that's the misconception.
But this industry is so big when it comes to hair, braids, locks, extension locking, and like the yarn braiding. So what is it that made you gravitate more to locks and braids instead of hair extensions and weaves?
I think that's a great question.
Thank you.
I've been doing hair since I was 12, and I started locks on my cousin, and we have like in between hair texture. It's like, you know, coolie hair, you know, they would call it.
Very nice.
So it was hard to kind of lock up his hair, and we tried 3 different ways. We tried aloe. We tried all the, you know, back then there was no YouTube.
But which one really works?
Well, the thing is, it took time. I had to kind of gradually learn through his hair.
Okay.
So we tried locking his hair 3 times, cut it off, started over. Eventually what did it is when I twisted up the hair, I took sewing needle and sewed his hair from top to bottom to create perfect locks.
Got it.
But now to keep that up, I had to keep on experimenting, which is how I got to liking to do what I do, because I didn't realize how many people out there wanted this
Done.
done.
Yes.
Yeah. So as soon as I started doing it, the need became, you know, very needed.
Okay.
So I just went in.
Nice.
Great.
Okay.
That's good. Now, question. I see that you specialize also in the thread extension.
Yes.
How long or short do a client hair has to be for you to even start off that process of the dreads? Like if their hair is really short, can you do that?
Yes. If the hair is short, I would say about 1 inch to 2 inch. However, starting dread extensions, you are adding some hair to your hair.
Right.
So you would want it to be at least a good length so you can keep the extensions, and you know, if you swagging out, it won't pop out. You know? So you at least want 1 to 2 inches.
And then they just basically, you know, you start it off and they could just lock it from there.
Well, once you start off with the extensions, it makes a difference. Mines are called instant locks because it's done with human hair. So if it is done with human hair, yes, you can continue to grow out your roots naturally as it grows out. You treat them like normal locks.
Okay.
Just twist them up like you would normally twist up
You
regular
can just
locks.
cut it off once your hair gets to the
Nobody
desired.
ever cuts it off.
They keep it.
Yeah, you keep it in permanently. Nobody sees or nobody knows that you have add-on because eventually it blends with your hair.
Okay. That's good.
Well, a lot of people don't know this, but I was in competition with Miss B.
Yes.
And let me tell y'all something. This sister hands move like grease lightning, okay? She puts those dreads in. She does braiding. I mean, super, super fast. So my question to you is, have you ever considered doing something fun, like maybe going into the Guinness Book of World Record? Have you ever thought about that?
I actually never thought of it, no.
You need to, because girl, you were over there. I mean, she was doing her
But
thing.
you beat me that day.
But it's all right. But you did all right.
Thank you.
Wait, so you also do braids as well, right?
Yes, I
So-
started off as a braider.
Oh, cool. So what do you think about the entire like lemonade braid side feed? What do they call it? Lemonade braid or feed-in braids? The
love
feed-in
it.
braids. What do you think about that
I
whole
love when
craze?
new braids, new styles, new techniques come out. I love it because that's what keeps us going. We're artists, and different things come out, and we're supposed to learn what comes out to go with the trend.
Yeah,
So I
exactly,
love it. When
exactly.
people call and say, I want the lemonade braids, I already know what they're talking
Right,
about.
right.
Yeah.
We've been wearing them forever, but Beyonce
Right.
just
Right.
stole them.
Right,
They call them
exactly.
lemonade braids.
Yeah.
Okay, B. I love you, B, by the way.
But if you guys notice now, when you're in a beauty supply store, and I was also trying to get like these fake hair extensions, there's so much like that they're offering. It's so hard to know like which one am I getting, what texture, and I noticed that you have your own line of hair.
Yeah.
So what's the difference in why pretty much you have a special line of hair compared to me just going to the beauty supply store and saying, can you just give me dread extensions with this?
Right. Well, I have my own brand because there's so much imitation out there. There's so much different styles out there that's called, you know, I'm not going to say they're imitations because every artist is their own. So there's faux locks out there. There's goddess locks out there. So with my locks being different from all the rest, because I only use human hair, and I pretty much do it for those who wants to keep it in permanently and start growing out their hair. So I had to trademark my brand. So my brand is called Instant Lock Dread Extensions, which is totally different from faux locks. It looks authentic, and once it's done, it stays in your hair permanently, never coming out.
Okay.
This technique is also used to repair locks. There's clients that have dreads for years, but have bald spots, but have thin areas in the front. They need repairs. I use the same technique to repair those dreads.
You specialize in that, right?
Yes.
Okay.
What about the Egyptian locks? I was looking at
I
some
heard of
Egyptian
them.
locks. I really want to try that. You remember? Yes, I remember I showed you a picture, and it looks kind of like a cotton yarn, but then it looks like real hair, and it's more like of a teased type of
Well, I bought some
dread.
different textures of hair
All
to
right,
show
let's
you.
see. Let's see this hair. I know that's
Pull 'em
right.
out, pull
To
'em
show
out,
you
pull 'em
guys.
out,
Right,
pull 'em
right,
out.
right, right.
Use out there.
You show us the difference with.
There's
Okay.
people
brand
using
and
this
your
brand of hair, which is Corion. We used to use this back in the days for silky locks or silky dreads, you know?
Okay.
Yes.
So some people, if you want the temporary look, go for it. You know, this is the cheaper version, I would say. Then you have the kinky hair. This is like Marley hair.
Okay.
They even call it Marley braid or
Is
dread
that
braid.
synthetic?
This is all synthetic hair. Now, a lot of people are using this to do those type of dreads. My locks are only done with human hair.
Nice.
And this is
Big
what the
difference.
human hair looks
Oh,
like.
pass that.
Big
Pass it
difference.
down.
Big
You
difference.
have it in blonde.
I have it in every color.
Can this be bleached? Like
Yes.
this is natural hair?
Yes, but if you're gonna bleach hair, you wanna go lighter. Because everything that's darker takes a longer process to take color.
I want to get that
Okay.
red hair for real. Like, I need
Right.
that red hair.
It
Like,
is real and it looks
let
real.
me pass it on so Nigel can feel it.
So let me ask you this. So if I wanted to try something like that, but you only use this kind of hair, but you say it's only for
nice.
people that want to keep it. So you all,
Yeah.
what if I wanted it just temporarily?
You can take it out temporarily. I just charge a lot, girl. So if you
That's right.
if you want something temporary and want to spend that much money for something temporary, I'm all for it.
I know that's right, girl.
Charge with
That's,
your
don't
worth.
turn them down. I know that's right.
Exactly.
your word.
But I'm just letting you know that I kind of want you to grow it because most people do it and they do the synthetic look and like the look. And now they want to keep it, but then they spend so much money on the synthetic look, you know, instead of going with the real look.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you know, B, I'm gonna be all in your business. You do dreads, but I don't see any dreadlocks.
I do. I got two hidden back here.
What?
Where did
Wait,
that come
wait.
Where did that come from?
This is her red.
So wait a minute.
Hey,
So
just give me two.
right, right.
Time out. So all
That'll
of
be
this is
cute.
your hair.
Yes.
Oh,
All
I
of
thought
this.
this was
is her hair.
extensions.
No.
Wait,
All
can
of
I,
it be
wait,
like
can
that.
I touch?
All of it be
Like
like that.
Oh, wow.
Behind the scene. I'm like,
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, she
Nice.
did ask me.
Nice.
What's the story behind the two dreads? Care
Well,
to
my
share?
daughter started the trend because this is our natural hair, but a lot of people who have hair like this don't really want to lock up their hair because they
Okay.
want to kind of wear it versatile. So, and I'm kind of married, so my husband didn't really want me.
Pause, kind of.
I mean, not
Wait,
kind of, I'm
wait,
sorry.
wait,
Can we redo that? No, I'm just kidding. I had to respect what my husband wanted, and he
Nice.
likes the hair. So I'm sneakingly putting dreads in there.
One by
Hopefully-
one.
Yeah, hopefully it gets to the top someday.
so question, is that the hair with
Yes,
this?
this
Okay.
is this
Okay.
is this hair
Can we see that again? Because it looks
wrapped
very,
around my
very
hair,
natural.
and then once it's done,
It locks.
it locks it in the hair and never comes out.
That
So
looks
now,
very
as the roots
authentic.
grow, you'll see I interlock the roots as they grow in.
Okay. So as yours grow, you just lock it like normal.
And most people
Well, we
hair
twist
comes
it.
in thin, so then you have the choice for me to keep on adding more hair to the roots to reinforce them to make it more stronger.
So
yeah.
what's the history about the interlocking? Because I hear a lot of people that don't really know how to interlock. They just do the twist and just hope it locks.
Well, you gonna whip that braid around here, hit me like that?
I'm sorry, but a lot of people don't know that interlocking is just a technique. It's a crochet technique. Some people call me and say, oh, do you do instant locks with the crochet needle? And I'm like, no, that's not what instant locks is.
Okay.
You know, so a lot of people just confuse the name of techniques, and they'll say, you know, I want interlocking, but don't really know what's interlocking. It's just a different technique that we use, the tool, to interlock your hair or your roots with.
Okay.
So do you find it harder to lock Caucasian hair as opposed to African American hair? Or Negro hair?
It's definitely a difference in white people here and black people here.
Okay.
However, the white people love me.
We all love you, B.
they love the concept.
She got the proper tool.
My
Yeah,
black
that's-
people are now starting to find out about me.
Okay.
I've been around for over 20 years.
Yes, you have.
So a lot of things now they're starting to see, but they don't know that some black people are using this technique to start dreads too. They don't know that. But the white people now that discovers me, you know, when they find me, they stick to me because I make the dreads look very neat and nice, and their hair is no different from black people if you're using this technique.
Gotcha.
Nice.
Gotcha.
So how much maintenance do we? Is it like every 2 weeks or every like
I
once
would
a month?
say if you do this technique, you have a choice. When you start, you could come in for palm roll every 4 to 6 weeks, or you can come to add hair to the roots, which is every 6 to 8 weeks.
Well, B, we would like you to stick around for Shop Topics. Do you mind?
No.
Okay, with that being said, don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
Okay.
Just took your shit.
Welcome back to Shop Talk Live. Our shop topic today is natural dreads versus dread extensions. So, I want to know, like, what are you guys' opinion? What's y'all opinion about dread extensions and natural dreads?
All day dread extensions,
Dread
not doing the
extensions?
ugly stage.
Oh,
I don't
'cause
care
you're a
what you
weave
say.
girl?
Yeah.
Oh.
That's right.
I like the extensions as well because I feel like in a way if you're trying to grow your hair, like kind of like manipulating the natural hair to think it's a dread, it will grow faster. So that's just my take on it.
But like my whole thing is like if you're doing dread extensions and you already have thin hair, wouldn't that damage the hair even
heavy.
further?
Yeah, but I'm not talking about people with thin
Well,
hair.
not with B's
Well,
hair.
I am.
B, correct him, not with your hairline, right?
Well, I would
Exactly.
say people that have thin hair still have to treat their hair. I'd still recommend treating when you have dreads in your hair.
Now, would you do interlocking with thin hair,
No.
or it doesn't?
Okay, as a loctician, I really don't like using the crochet needle. To me, it pulls the person's roots at their hair, so not everybody knows how to crochet properly.
I think
And-
it splits the dread. Sorry, not
Yes.
to cut you off.
No, go ahead.
That's what I don't like. I think it just splits the dread. It does make it last longer because you are doing the
Locking it.
crochet needle, but at the same time you're
It's
still
breaking the
splitting
hair.
it in
You're
half.
breaking the
Yeah.
hair.
And
I
to
w-
me-
And you're messing up the pattern.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
To me, doesn't it make the dreads look like bungee?
Braided.
It looks
Yeah,
like,
not as
you know,
It's not
uniform.
even.
looks
Yeah, it's not
locked
even.
and
It's not
tight
even.
and locked
But
and
you know what? I speaking about crochet, do you guys think crochet actually helps the hair or breaks the hair? Like when the girls get the crochet hairstyles.
Right.
What about that needle going? Like I don't like that.
if they're not
like I
properly
feel
using
like
that needle.
I
That's
feel
what I'm
like
saying.
it
If they're
is-
not properly
Yeah.
using it, because the way
it
it
can
goes
break, right?
in, it goes in that way, and then they, kind of knock the hair through. But I'm thinking the damage could go as far as your hair is braided, right? And then if your hair is braided tight,
With the
which it
tension.
shouldn't be, but if
Yeah.
it's braided tight and if you're trying to slip something through that braid, then to me, it could
it's
be a little
definitely
damage.
gonna cause
Yeah.
I
damage.
think
Yeah.
it's mostly tension when it comes to anything.
Well, are people even still getting dreads? I mean, like without the extensions? Because
Yeah.
everybody that I see are pretty much using
I
the
just love those
extensions.
really, really like neat dreads.
Dreads.
Those men have. I'm just
Yeah.
like,
And get all
I can
taped
see a
and
man with a
everything.
dreads, and it's just really neat and tamed. I'm like, whoa, baby.
But you can get that with natural.
Stella.
I'm whoa,
You-
baby.
you-
Yes.
have you guys ever heard of sister locks?
Yeah, I like
Sister-
those.
people still
They're
doing
really
sister
tiny.
locks?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think those are
expensive and very
beautiful.
expensive. A long time.
Look like the pigtails from back in the day.
Yeah.
I don't
From
care
afar,
for
you
those,
don't know
though.
their dress till you get close up. You're like, oh,
Yeah,
this is a
yeah,
dress.
because
I
you can
don't-
style them pretty much any type of way.
I don't too much care for sister locks because me personally, I don't think they have a lot of character. I like the ones that have a little bit of size on them.
I know what she means.
I
No, I
think
know
they
what
have.
she
they
means.
don't-
I
they
think
don't
they
really
have
have
character.
character.
I think they have character because you
Once
can
they
style
get-
them
You can
in
style
so
them.
many
Once they get
different
And
ways.
it's still yours. You're natural.
No,
Yeah.
no,
Hey,
no,
your
no,
hair
no, no.
has to be
With
thick.
sister locks, no, you get extensions with sister locks, right?
No, sister locks, you can start with extensions, but it's natural. It's
Yeah,
a
it's
natural.
natural.
It's
yeah.
like their own hair.
Do you like them?
Yeah.
B? You like the sister
Okay.
locks?
Only thing
I
about
like
is-
sister locks because it depends on the individual. Not everybody can wear big locks. Like some people are
Yeah.
used to
They
the
thinner
to the
hair.
wrap look. Yeah. So if you're used to the wrap look or the weave look, you're gonna want sister
Sister
locks,
locks.
so you
Yeah.
could be universal.
I think the
just
only
feel like
benefit to those is you can do a
Spiraling.
sew
You can
in
do a
on
lot
top
of
of
different
it.
things.
I just don't think it
about
grows as fast as regular dreads, though. Like you can't really tell the growth process of the sister locks.
It's
Like
just
it looks
skinny.
like
It
they're
grows, it's just
but
skinny.
it's just like the growing process is like super slow.
So I'm
You
not,
have to take
I'm not a, like,
pictures.
I'm not a I'm not a loctician, and I'm definitely not into dreads. But do you guys think that it's easier to color sister locks as opposed to regular dreadlocks because the dreads are so thick?
I think it's easier because it's thin, because the sister locks are thin.
But that product could
If
be.
Yeah,
they
it
know
penetrates
it can
fast.
penetrate.
if that professional stylist knows what they're doing, because if that's the case, they're thin. They could also be dried out and burnt off very
Well,
fast.
that's with anything.
That's what I was gonna say too. So just because I'm a loctician and a braider, I don't do color. There's certain things I don't do. I'll send them to the professional that does do that. You know, if they want highlights and certain things, I'll tell them straight up, I'm not a professional in that department, but I will send you to someone
Somebody.
who's good in color. And whether they're good at dreads or not, if they're good at color, period, they should
They
be
can
able
do
to
it,
color
exactly.
dreads, right?
And that's a note tip for everybody out there. If you don't know what
That's
you're
very
doing,
smart. That's
Yeah.
very smart.
Yeah.
network, connect with other professional stylists, and that's their specialty, and refer them, your
Yeah.
client, I
Right.
mean, for that specific service.
How do you all feel about coloring natural dreads opposed to the dread extensions? Because you know, all hair weave does not color well. Like the synthetic that you were showing before, it's not really going to color. So you would definitely have to use the human hair if you're going to do the extension in order for it to color.
But who colors synthetic hair? Does synthetic
Meaning
hair color?
the
Some people
question
will
was
try. They try
But
to
they won't lift
flat
right.
iron
coloring
it.
the
No, it wouldn't.
extensions
It wouldn't
opposed to-
lift.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
It wouldn't lift.
That's like me trying to color a synthetic wig, like from the hair store that doesn't make
Well, they
like
do
this.
have
But people
extensions
try.
now that are 50% human and 50% synthetic. So it's not all
The hair.
100%. Exactly. Just like you have the hair extensions that you can put heat to, but it's still a synthetic blend. So when you go to the higher end of synthetic hair, you can actually color them.
Yeah.
That's why you just said go to the professionals that do
Yeah.
color. But okay.
But I mean, now like in the beauty supply stores, they already have the hair colored as well. Like you could get it pink,
Right.
gray. Like so, I mean, personally, me, if I want to color like, and it's the type of style or lock or dread extension that I want, I would just buy it.
See, the thing about that though, when somebody gets colored hair, I usually tell them that their roots is still going to grow in black.
Right.
So when your roots grow in black, are you going to be coloring your roots, or are you going to be adding the color here too? Because now you're going to have to see the expense of coming in to keep adding hair to your roots, or are you going to be getting
Or you
colored?
just want to be two-tone.
Or you just want, yeah,
Some people
exactly.
do that. I've seen the Jamaican colors in the
That's, I
dreads.
mean, that's good consultating because they'll think like, okay, I want red dress, and they get the red hair.
Yeah, and 2 months later, they're like, what do I do about this new growth? I
definitely.
warned you ahead of time that this is
Right.
what's going to happen. So this is why I usually recommend the natural color of the person's hair. And if you want to color later on, do it later on. But let's stick to your natural hair color right now, which is whatever comes from the roots, not the ends, the roots.
Well, you know what, B? It's been a pleasure having you here with us today. Did you enjoy this
Yes,
shop
I
talk?
did. I
Great.
enjoyed all of you.
Thank
You
you
guys
so
are great.
much.
Awesome. Are you going to come back to see us soon?
Sure.
Awesome. So all of you out there, we want you to definitely subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Facebook, and like us on Instagram at Shop Talk Live, the good, the bad, the ugly.
And you can also email us if you have any questions at shoptalklivegbu@gmail.com if you have anything that you would love for us to discuss on our next panel.
We would also like to thank our sponsors, Beauty Elements and Design Essentials. And we can't forget our live audience. Our live audience and our YouTube viewers. Thank you for watching Shop Talk Live.